she has, so she got my phone number.
Ready to check this up on us, please? Let Coach make an opening statement. We'll open up for questions. Reminder, Coach, we have another game you'd like to get to tonight, so if you have two better questions first, that would be helpful.
No stupid questions tonight. Phil, we got you in the audience, so I guess I can't avoid that. But you know, a very workmanlike effort. You know, I thought our guys approached this game the right way. We had a couple drops early in the game that were disappointing that I thought put us behind the change a little bit. First drive of the game, they outnumbered us on the split side option, on load option series out of the pod look, which was a good job on their part. We adjusted it in the second half. They hit us one time in the first drive in the second half. But it's all a numbers game when you play an offense like that. You got to get numbers right, regardless of how fast you are or big you are. It doesn't matter. It's about numbers. And they did a good job of outnumbering us on a couple the first drive in the first half and the first drive of the second half. And our guys made some adjustments. Turnovers are key when you play these sort of teams, and you got to score. And we were able to score in those situations, but ran the ball much better in the second half, very balanced in what we were. Jake was on target. We had too many drops, and that was disappointing. But I think we came out of it pretty much injury-free. Anton Wilder had an elbow, but I think he's going to be fine, and Shai's got an ankle. But other than that, we ought to be good to go for next week. So I'll open it up for any questions.
Well, not a lot of throws down the field, but you had them there when you needed them. Was that by design, or was that maybe a little left over from last week?
Well, I think a little bit, you know, Dave, they were dropping 8 a bunch, and they were bailing and staying on top of all the routes. So we had a lot of quick game that we liked. We had the run game we liked, and we just kind of took what they gave us to stay on the field and stay alive. They stay on top of a lot of routes. We did have a couple dialed up. We didn't feel like, you know, that we could get to them, but they dropped 8 a bunch to fill up the zones.
Couple of things. The thinking behind Senior Day tonight instead of next week and Sky's performance on Senior Day.
Well, you know, to me it's a very emotional day, and it was an emotional today with our guys and yesterday. And that was one of the things we had a meeting, a senior meeting, and Justin King and his crew made a video for our guys, and it was an emotional meeting, and it was really neat from a standpoint of they all got up and talked, and they talked about culture, and they talked about our expectation moving forward as a program, and it was really cool to see where they think this program's headed and the culture of the program and where it is right now. And that was awesome to hear. But I just feel like in this game is a very emotional game, and the next week's an emotional game. And I think when you double that, and I think that makes it difficult on us. And it's going to be as emotional as you can get next week. So that's the reason for that. But Sky's a really good football player. He tied the interception record. I gave him a game ball after the game today. And I told him the only way we're going to paint it up if he breaks it, so you got to get another one.
Well, you told us that during the summer you spent some time working on Wofford's offense. How pleased are you with the way the defense handled it today?
Well, again, you know, they do a really good job. There was nothing that we showed them that they haven't seen before. You know, Coach Ayers and Wade Lang do a fantastic job as our number system. And, you know, they got on the edges on us a couple times. And at the end of the day, it's about winning the game, and that's mission accomplished as far as I'm concerned. We spent a lot of time on these guys in the offseason because they were very different from what we're used to seeing.
What'd you think of the run game in the second half for you guys, and holes just opening up and you guys hitting them?
Yeah, I thought again, we got a hat on a hat in the run game. We overpowered them, some situation, out physicaled in some plays, which we should have. That's what we should do. So that was pleasing to see, you know, and we got some things open in the pass game. So we felt good about being able to move the ball in the game. We did for the most part.
With Jam, was it just the shoulder?
Yeah, his shoulder. He should be fine this week. I didn't think he was ready to go. And when you spend as much time, you know, eye control, this is a huge eye control game. To have your eyes in the right spots, eye discipline, and when you don't rep all week, it's hard to play in this game.
Coach, with how young your offense has been this season, how important has it been to have that senior leadership on defense all year?
Well, I think, again, you know, we've had some injuries. Obviously losing Debo Samuel affects your football team and special teams and offense, but as much as anything, a leader as well. But Shai Smith and Ortre are both true freshmen, have played extremely well and done a nice job for us. But I think we've done a good job as a football team of complementing each other and coming up with some plays and getting a turnover and converting a score. I mean, that's good team football, and we've done that for the most part. We've been a pretty disciplined group as far as penalties. I think we're the least penalized team in the SEC, so that's good. We only had 3 tonight, and one was on a face mask, and I guess we had 2 face masks, and that's, you know, hey, that's guys running the ball. You're never going to hear me complain about that. So we just got to continue to press forward. That's what we'll do.
Will, now that the game is here, last year you guys, or a lot of the players said never again when it came about the Clemson score. Is that something you guys have repeated throughout the offseason?
No, just from a standpoint of competing. At the end of the day, when the chips got down, we had some guys that didn't compete, and it wasn't our whole team. We had a bunch of guys that competed their butts off. We got outcoached and outplayed, and it starts with me. And you know that to me was the message from me to our football team. We got out competed in the game, and that can't happen.
Coach, I know you're in a hurry tonight, but just curious, did you talk to your team afterwards? And if you did, how quickly did you tell them, hey, you know, we're getting ready for Clemson now?
Well, they understand what's next week. That's important to them, and our guys will be prepared. And we'll be ready to go. Thank you. All right.
First up tonight is A.J. Turner and Sky Moore. A.J. closer to me. Sky further away. Anyone else besides you? Go ahead, Jack.
Sky, how do you think you played, and was it nice to play that way on Senior Day?
I think I played all right, and it was a good win on Senior Day. You know, it was a good way to go out. So I think we all played good as a whole.
The interception, were you just tracking? Looked like you tracked the guy the whole way and maybe baited him a little bit.
Yeah, we've been going over their passing game, their pass routes throughout the week. So I kind of recognized what route they were running, and just expanded to the flat and just got my eyes back on the receiver and to the quarterback.
As one of the handful of guys who's got a win over Clemson on this team, how will you communicate that and talk to your team about that and about this game?
Yeah, we just got to come out here, with an edge about ourselves. That's how we played. My freshman year, that 2013 team, we had an edge about us. So that's the motto we're going to be preaching out throughout the week. Just have an edge about us and come out there and leave it all on the field.
Sky Will said that they're not going to change the name unless you get another interception. Maybe that's true, maybe not. But how good that feel to get the record and at least tie it?
Yeah, it felt good. Hopefully I can get another one, obviously, but it felt good.
And AJ, obviously you guys knew what they were susceptible of. How good did it feel to get that lead and be able to run out the clock on them in the second half?
To what?
How good did it feel to be able to run out the game on them in the second half?
It always feels good to get a win, so you got to take every advantage of it. It doesn't happen all the time, so when it happens, you got to celebrate, and I feel like that's what we did. Came out and executed, and we were successful, so.
AJ, do you think you guys were more committed to the run in the second half, or was that just a matter of wearing them down and it opened up in the second half?
I believe it was like both. I think we were wearing them down, and at first half we weren't really running the ball like that, but second half it kind of came, and Coach Rober saying we need to be more physical and be able to control the line of scrimmage so we can run the ball, and that's what we did.
I think you guys had 7 guys with a carry today and 3 with over 40 yards. Just how good does it feel to have a balanced rushing attack like that and have different guys contributing? How lethal does that make you guys on offense?
Feels great because I know it's a problem for defenses. When one guy goes in, another guy comes out, and it's not a drop-off. I feel like that really takes a tax and a toll on the defense. So it's got to keep it up, keep working hard in practice, and keep producing.
Sky, you mentioned the 2013 team. You've been a part of what some might consider to be 3 different eras in Gamecock football. With the experiences that have come from that, what kind of wisdom have you imparted onto the younger guys, specifically concerning the Clemson game next week?
Yeah, like you said, I know I've experienced a couple different dynamics being a part of this team for a little while, but like I said, we just got to come out here and just have an edge about ourselves coming into Clemson. And that's the one thing I took from being on that team in 2013. Just how those guys played and the passion they played with. So that's why I took it and carried it on throughout my career. So I'm just gonna pass that down to the young guys too.
Sky, when you mentioned having an edge, just going off of that, what are the things that you're looking for? What are the things that you're seeing in this team that incorporates the same characteristics from that 2013 squad?
Yeah, it's an attitude. You know, it's a certain attitude about yourself when you step on the field. You know, you gotta want to dominate the man across from you. You gotta want to win. You know, so you know that's the type of mentality that you gotta have. You know, for big games and you know every game really.
And AJ, for you, you were part of that game last year and everything that happened with that. Just how much are you personally looking forward to getting another shot at Clemson here at home?
You know, it's a big deal for a lot of people. You know, we didn't get what we wanted last year, and you know, I feel like we've been working hard in the off season. We've been working hard in season stuff too. So, man, we just gotta. We know it's coming. You know, we just gotta work hard and produce and execute. And I feel like you know, our people on our team, a lot of people on our team are from South Carolina. So I feel like it's gonna be a real emotional game. But you know, we can't really let our emotions get to us. We gotta do what we're coached to do and win. Ultimately, that's what we want.
For both of you guys, after last year's game, a lot of you said never again. How much have you brought that up over the past year, or is it something that you just start bringing up this week?
You know, I wasn't part of it last year, but you know, that's something that I never really heard throughout the season. So you know, like tonight we're going to enjoy this win and you know, and just focus on you know Clemson Tuesday. So that's the mindset we're going to have.
Sky, how hard is it to prepare for a team like Wofford that you know is going to run it and give you a lot of different looks?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to have, you know, good preparation. You know, your eyes got to be right. So it's difficult, but as long as everyone is disciplined, you know, you know, like how we handle the team tonight, that's the result that we were looking for.
AJ, Jake had 2 more rushing touchdowns today. In the past few weeks, how has that kind of changed the rushing attack with him being able to kind of get down there near the goal line?
I feel like it makes us more versatile as an offense, you know, not just a back running the ball or a receiver running the jet, but, you know, we have a quarterback that can actually run and make yards and produce. So I feel like it's a hard thing for a defense to stop if they don't know who's going to get the ball, who's going to do what. So proud of Jake.
AJ, they came out and scored on the first drive of the second half. It's 14-10 at that point. What was the team's mindset at that point? Did y'all feel like you had to come out and answer that and take back control of the game?
Had to. You know, we just told each other, let's go. Like, we can do this. Like, actually, we have no choice. We got to do this. So I just feel like, you know, our attitude and, you know, defense too, but as an offense, I feel like our attitude we had more of an edge, kind of like what Scott was saying. So just got to keep that up and bring that every week. I feel like we produced a lot.
Scott, I know you probably came back to be able to win a conference championship, win a national championship, but to see the program get to 8 wins now, I know that's not necessarily the goal that was set out at the beginning of the year, but to be able to see the program come back in the manner that it has since the days that you got here, the roller coaster of a ride, what does that mean to you?
You know, it means a lot. You know, my career, you know, I had a rough little ride, you know, but and had that little adversity. But I'm glad I came back, you know, like to experience this team. You know, we have a special group. You know, these guys, you know, they're special, and you know, the sky's the limit for them. So you know, I'm just happy to be a part of it, and you know, help them learn in any way I can. So I'm happy I came back for sure.
AJ, just what is it like for you guys to watch Caleb get a little time to shine and be able to do kind of what he did today?
It's exciting. Just knowing, you know, we're all doing our job so we can get other people in the game, and you know, it's just a blessing, like to be able to see, you know, the growth in our room. You know, starting from the beginning of the season. You know, we had adversity. You know, we had injuries, had a lot of different things, but to see Kinlaw step up, you know, he had a great week of practice. So I feel like he's really been learning. He's really been doing his job. You know, he hasn't really been saying, "Oh, I'm not playing, so I'm not going to do this." But he's had a real good attitude about it. So I commend him for that.
Next up, we got Jake Bentley and we got Brian Edwards.
Jake, not a lot of throws downfield until you had to with the touchdown strikes. Was that by design, or was it maybe a little bit of a hangover from last week? What was the game plan?
No, I don't think it really correlated from last week. I think it's just how they play defense. They, they really try to make you take underneath stuff, and make you move it methodically down the field. And we knew that coming in, and I thought we had a good game plan as far as that goes. Just taking what they give us, and just moving the ball efficiently.
Jake, another 2 rushing touchdowns, man. I mean, what's going on these last couple of weeks? You said last week that the coaches didn't say anything to you, that one of the coaches joked around, maybe about running it more. What have you been seeing these last couple of weeks, though? Because it just seems like it's part of the game plan now.
Coach Roper has some great, play designs, and they've been working for us. I thought I got in on that first one, but so I like the way he came back to me and let me get it. But yeah, it's just the way it's been working out. We do a great job running the ball with our running backs, and so it just opens it up for me to get on the edge and just put it in.
Jake, they come out and score in the first drive of the second half, cut it to 14-10. What was the mindset of the offense at that point? Y'all feel like you had to go out, score, and take back control of the game?
I mean, yeah, then that's what we want to do on every drive is to go score, and the guys really responded well. No one got rattled. I think that's been something you can see all year. Is that we offensively we don't really shake. When adversity strikes, we kind of respond well to it, and a lot of guys stepped up and responded the right way, and never got rattled. Just moved the ball down the field and scored a touchdown.
Brian, how does it feel to start out the game getting those several receptions in a row? They're going to you a lot, and you had probably close to 50 yards easily within the first couple drives. How does it feel to get that momentum going early?
It feels good to kind of get into a groove and catch a couple balls and get a couple yards after the catch. So it just made me feel good, maybe get into a rhythm and just maybe play even better.
Brian, do you have a chance to talk to Otrey? Maybe try to pick him up after, I guess, him struggling to catch a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him on the sideline. It's a part of the game. We've all had those games. I've had one of those games personally, and you just gotta talk to your teammate, make sure they don't get down on themselves, and just make sure he's ready to go next week. Because everybody drops passes. It's part of the game. You just can't get down on yourself, and let it translate to next week.
Jake, when you play a team like Wofford, do you ever feel a sense of urgency knowing that when they get the ball, they may keep it 7-8 minutes and limit the number of possessions you're going to get in a game?
Oh, for sure. And that's definitely our mindset going in. We knew that we had to be efficient on offense because they eat up a lot of clock. And Coach Ayers does a great job with their team, and they're a great team, and they're going to make it deep in their playoffs. So. We knew there was going to be a tough game coming in offensively because we knew we had to execute at a high level. And I think we did that for the most part. And obviously there's some things that, we'd like to clean up a little bit. But, yeah, definitely a sense of urgency coming out there and knowing that we needed to move the ball and put points on the board.
This is for both of you. How eager are you to get another shot at Clemson, especially after what happened to you last year up there?
We're just going to enjoy this win, take it one day at a time, and then when Tuesday comes around, we're going to turn on the film, we're going to get ready for Clemson. That's about it.
Same.
Jake, the drive to end the first half, you guys have had some interesting end-to-half drives early this year, but how good was that one to see just how efficient you were, and then you went for the final blow with the touchdown throw?
And that's the big thing about, 2-minute drives. You have a lot more time than you think you do. There's no real need to be in a hurry. We got to get lined up faster, obviously, but, you still got to make good decisions. And, layoffs are good in those situations, and that's what we always talk about. And then, Brian made a great play on the touchdown. So just being able to execute at a high level when we needed to, knowing that they're going to get the ball the second half and just moving the ball down the field and putting it in the end zone.
Jake, you can correct me if I'm wrong. It looked like your second run was a counter.
Yeah.
How much have you repped quarterback counter, and what do you kind of think when Coach Roper calls that one?
Yeah, that's something we put in. Based on how they lined up, they kind of just left one guy back over there, and AJ did a great job of kicking him out, and I hit it up in there and scored. So just a great play design, like I said, by Coach Roper, seeing that on film and installing that for us, and it worked out good.
Jake, I know that Coach Muschamp just said a moment ago that the seniors spoke to you guys in the locker room after video played. What was the message they got to they delivered to you guys, and what were the things that you really took away? Is this team still young but has grown tremendously in the last year?
Yeah, and the seniors on this team have done so much for this program. You really can't put into words what they've been through and what they've overcame. And their big message to us was just keep the culture going. And that's kind of what we heard repeatedly, is just to keep winning, keep working hard, and just, like I said, keep the culture of winning going. And continue to work hard in the weight room. Don't get complacent. And just, really encouraging from them. And, I just want to say thank you to all of them. They did so much for us and taught, me and Brian, younger guys, a lot because of how they responded to a coaching change, how they've, responded to so much and really overcame it. So.
This question is for both of you guys. If you look at the depth chart on both sides of the ball, the defense loaded with seniors and upperclassmen, whereas the offense, it's mostly, freshmen, sophomores, younger guys. With that being said, and of course with the injury to Debo, how important has it been for you two to step up as leaders during the season?
I think it's been very important, especially for me, with Debo going down, because he was kind of our older guy and kind of our leader. But, I think Jake, myself, I think we all just had to step up a little bit and, just become a little bit more vocal, get out of our comfort zones, make sure everybody's on point and ready to play every weekend.
Yeah, then the same thing. Defense does a great job of picking us up when we need it, and we do a great job picking them up. So as far as a leadership roles, everyone stepped up. I think everyone kind of has the same mindset. We're all starting to think the same offensively, and I think that's the most important thing. And like he said, guys have really stepped up and been more vocal or just worked harder to be an example.
Jake, I know Brian just said you guys are going to probably go enjoy this win tonight, but what's the schedule like this week, and when do you guys start looking at Clemson? I'm sure maybe you have already a little bit. I mean, how close have you followed those guys this season?
We'll start, or I'll start tomorrow, just, getting a good look at them. And a lot of guys will just start, on their own, just, trying to just get bits and pieces of information and then whatever they can get. And then Tuesday we'll be back in the building, to really break it down with all the coaches and really just start working on them.
Obviously not part of the game plan, but did any part of you hope that it would be a game kind of like it was, where the clock kind of kept moving so Coach Muschamp could kind of get to a second game of the night?
Oh, because championship? Yeah, I saw that. Shoot, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he was ready. No, I'm just happy we won, and I hope that Hammond, right? Hope Hammond wins. I don't know.
You guys had pretty equal amounts of rushing and passing yards. Is that the kind of balance you guys want from this offense? And at what point do you start considering Jake a dual threat quarterback?
We always play better, when we can get the run game going and, sprinkle in a little pass and things like that. So when we stay balanced, I think we're a real good offense. And, he got to score a couple. He got to get a couple of longer runs to get that dual threat star. Been about 5 yards. He got to get about 15, 20, you feel me?
Yeah, for both of you guys, with Kentucky losing at Georgia, I think you clinch second outright in the East. So does that mean anything to you? I mean, I know you want to win the division, but considering kind of where you've come from to finish clear second in the division, mean anything special to you?
I mean, obviously. Obviously, it's not the ultimate goal of what we want to accomplish. But if you think of the progress that this program's made the last few years and, seeing the way the older guys have bought into what Coach Muschamp has came here to establish, and I think it says a lot about the guys on our team and the program that we're building here. And, I think it is a sense of pride for us to, finish top in the East. But like I said, we're going to keep working to, ultimately, reach the ultimate goals that we have. Appreciate you.
Last two players tonight.
Questions for these guys since they've left the room? We'll go to Ben first.
For y'all, did that option offense kind of deliver what you expected? Did anything that they did kind of surprise you at all, or not really?
I mean, from my viewpoint, I mean, not really. Only thing is, I thought they was going to cut a lot more than they did, but they only attempted to cut me like once, so that was really it made me change the way I was playing, kind of the speed I was playing at. So.
John, how nice was it to see Caleb back out there running with the football? I know it's been a while since you've seen that.
Well, I told them if he scored the ball, I was going to run on the field. So, but, yeah, it was good. It was good seeing that, you know. So.
Chris, pregame, I saw you signing some autographs for some younger fans. How important is the team's relationship to this fan base, and how will that play into the game next week?
I mean, I feel like we got the best fans in the country, and I feel like that's my job to just show them love because they out here every Saturday showing us our love and just being there for us when we need it the most.
Chris, is it any surprise to you that Sky had a big game on senior day after all he's been through?
No, sir. I mean, he's a big-time player, and that's what he do.
Javon, how long have you been thinking about or waiting to play Clemson?
No answer.
Chris, when you got here, how long did it take for you to get a sense of how much the Clemson-Carolina game meant to people around here?
The first day I stepped on campus.
Well, was there anything in particular, or you just?
I mean,
that's just how it is.
It was like we hate them. That's it.
Chris, with Wofford being able to take 7, 8, 9-minute drives, and you know that about them coming in, how was it to be able to actually have the defense on the field for less time this game, and giving you guys some extra rest?
I felt like we prepared for that, so it really wasn't no big deal for us like that much.
Just when you're facing that kind of offense, how tough or I guess maybe how annoying is it when they're kind of just sort of steadily grinding and driving downfield 3, 4, 5 yards at a time, just keeping you guys out there?
When we're facing that type of offense, you just got to have discipline, and you got to know that they're going to get some yards because of the difficult offense that they run, and you just got to have discipline.
Chris, did y'all know coming into this game, or did you think that turnovers were going to be a big factor in? How much of a lift did that give you guys in the second half to stop them and get the ball away from them?
Yeah, we already knew that we had to take the ball away from these guys because they could drain a lot of time off the clock, and if you let them stay in the game with you, it could go either way.
Javon, the D-line's dance moves garnered some small internet fame during the week after the Florida game. What do you have to say about those dance moves? And if you have any songs to request from the PA system for next week, what you got for me?
Look, it don't matter what song it is, I'm a dance regardless. So play whatever you want. You're going to see me out there jumping around.
So on the whole, how do you feel like the defensive line played with so much motion and going on in the backfield, and would you still consider yourself a Chihuahua after this week?
I mean, I feel like overall we played good, striking blocks wise. I was getting a little confused out there because, I ain't never seen that before. Well, I haven't seen it since high school, and at the same time they were real short, so it was just hard. I was trying to do the best I can striking blocks, but man, somebody ripped my pants. I don't know how. I don't know how, but
Crazy.
And a Chihuahua, I mean, I think I'm a Doberman, you know what I mean? I'm a Doberman this week.
Anything else for these guys before it gets off the rails?
Javon, whether it's going up against a team like Georgia or a team like today when you know they're going to run at you, I mean, how personal do you take it, especially in the trenches?
I mean, I took it extra personal this week, you know, because they was trying to get that dive in there. So I mean, I wasn't going for it, you know. I don't really like when teams try to run it in my gap, you know. I take it as disrespect. So.
I know you guys don't look too hard at stats, but you know you just held an option offense to 155 yards rushing. Is there a little bit of pride in doing something like that?
I mean, we want to hold every team to under at least, I think, 170 yards rushing, I guess. But we just take it personal if a team come in here trying to run the ball.
So we're done for the night?